There is a specific point on the sole of your foot that can stop the energy leaking from your base without any effort. The persistent exhaustion that drains your strength escapes through your hips, passing through an opening that stays active because you never awakened the mechanism that closes it. This seal lies beneath your feet, waiting for a precise touch. Each day without this knowledge allows the energy to continue slipping away while the containment valve remains dormant and ignored. You are about to learn how to find this point on the sole of your foot and activate it with the exact amount of pressure, so you can finally feel your base holding what has always been slipping out. If you leave now, you will miss the gesture that transforms drainage into retention. Ancient traditions understood that ignoring this point keeps the leak open indefinitely. Do not step away from your healing. It is literally beneath your feet. The sole of your foot is not just a mechanical support. It works as a sensor that tells your nervous system whether it is safe to hold energy or if it must keep it in a state of continuous escape. When this sensor stays inactive, the body interprets the base as unstable and activates a silent survival alert that drains vitality through the hips without you noticing. At every moment, the sole of your foot decides whether you hold or disperse what you generate. In ancient Chinese medicine, this point was known as yongquan, the bubbling spring where celestial energy descends and either takes root in the body or escapes back into the earth when the seal is broken. Hermetic alchemists understood that sealing the vessel from the base was the first gesture before any inner transmutation. They treated the sole of the foot as the vibrational foundation of the temple, the place where containment begins or where everything is lost. The mechanism is precise. Dense nerve endings in the front region of the sole connect directly to the vagus nerve, creating a pathway between contact with the ground and the regulation of the autonomic nervous system. When this point is compressed or inactive, the body interprets instability as a threat and keeps the leak active. The base does not close because the signal of safety was never sent. The energy drains because the nervous system is still waiting for confirmation that it is allowed to contain. Research in fascial anatomy shows that the plantar fascia connects to the entire posterior chain of the body all the way to the base of the skull. Awakening the point on the sole reorganizes the postural distribution upward, adjusting how weight is received and redistributed. Neuroscience demonstrates that the perception of safety does not begin in the brain, but in the points of contact with the ground. What you feel as persistent fatigue is your body maintaining an alert state that began at the base and was never deactivated. This leak explains why you struggle to sustain projects, why your decisions fluctuate, and why your presence fades in the middle of important conversations. The energy that should circulate and nourish you is escaping through your hips, because the valve on the sole of your foot was never activated. There is someone who lived exactly this, who carried this leak for years without knowing the solution was beneath her own feet. And her story will illuminate how transformation unfolds when the seal finally awakens. Sharon was 62 years old and spent her days taking care of the house, preparing meals, and organizing her family's routine. Around 10 years earlier, she began to notice a fatigue that did not improve with rest. Her legs felt heavy early in the morning, her ankles hurt for no clear reason, and there was a persistent sense that her body was collapsing from the inside. She woke up tired and ended the day exhausted, as if something were draining her strength continuously. Sharon tried physical therapy for her ankle pain, but the exercises never solved the issue in a lasting way. She experimented with supplements to increase her energy, did generic stretching routines recommended by online videos, and even spent a few months in therapy trying to understand whether the exhaustion was emotional, Nothing worked because everything addressed isolated symptoms without reaching the mechanism that kept the leak active. Her body continued losing strength through the base, and she had no idea. During a conversation with a friend who practiced acupuncture, Sharon heard for the first time about a specific point on the sole of the foot that Eastern traditions considered essential for holding energy. Her friend mentioned that this point was connected to what they called the bubbling spring, and that, when inactive, it allowed vitality to flow back into the earth. It sounded strange at first, but the description was so precise that Sharon felt someone had finally named what she had been experiencing for years. That same night, Sharon sat on the edge of her bed, took off her socks, and began to feel the sole of her right foot, searching for the area her friend had described. When she found the point between the front bones of the sole, she pressed it with her thumb and held the pressure for a few seconds. Something changed immediately. There was a sense of grounding she had never felt before, as if the weight of her body were finally settling in a different way. Her breath dropped deeper, her ankles relaxed slightly, and for the first time in years, she felt her base holding something instead of letting it slip away. Sharon pressed the same point on her left foot and noticed the same response. Her body was reacting in a way none of her previous attempts had ever triggered. She stayed there for a few minutes, repeating the gesture and feeling the transformation begin to settle. What Sharon discovered that night is the same gesture you are about to experience now. You will locate the specific point on the sole of your foot that stops the leak at the base. Sit comfortably, remove your shoes, and bring your right foot onto your left thigh. Use your fingers to map the sole, finding first the line that divides the foot into thirds. The region you are looking for is in the front portion, between the second and third toe, slightly above the center of the foot. When you find this area, press it with the tip of your thumb or with two fingers together. The region may feel tense, slightly sore, or oddly numb. This is normal. Direct the pressure not only downward, but slightly upward, as if you were trying to awaken something lying dormant beneath the surface. Hold the pressure for 30 to 60 seconds, while breathing in a short nasal rhythm. Inhale to the count of 3, exhale to the count of 4. While you maintain the pressure, notice what happens in your body. Warmth may rise from the point through the ankle. A sense of weight may redistribute along the leg, or the foot that felt tense may begin to settle differently. Your breath may drop more easily toward the lower belly. These are the first responses of the nervous system recognizing that the base is being sealed. Keep breathing and maintaining steady pressure. Now release the right foot and repeat the same process on the left foot. Find the point in the front region of the sole. Press with firmness while directing slightly upward and hold for 30 to 60 seconds. Breathe in the same rhythm. 3 counts for the inhalation, 4 for the exhalation. Notice the same sensations emerging: warmth, redistribution of weight, relaxation of the ankle. Your body is learning that the valve can be closed. When you finish with the left foot, stand up and sense the difference in how your weight is received. Do you feel more stability, less need to contract your toes to feel grounded? Does your posture adjust itself in a subtle way? These changes indicate that the point has been activated and that your base is beginning to hold energy instead of letting it escape. Now, still standing, press the point on the sole of your right foot with your fingers while breathing consciously. Imagine your inhalation descending all the way to the pressed point, and your exhalation sealing the energetic containment there. Do this for 3 full breaths. Repeat on the left foot. This integration of touch, breath, and intention transforms the mechanical gesture into a ritual of vibrational closure. Before moving to the next layer of the practice, there is something essential you need to know about what happened to Sharon when she continued activating this point over the following weeks. Sharon began activating the point on the soles of her feet every morning upon waking, before putting on her shoes, and whenever she felt that old fatigue beginning to rise through her legs. In the first few weeks, the ankle pain that had followed her for years began to disappear. Her sleep became more restorative, not because of the number of hours, but because of the quality of nervous system regulation taking place during the night. The base was finally closing. Fatigue stopped being a permanent state and became an appropriate response to real effort. Sharon noticed she could stay present in conversations without feeling her body pulling her attention downward through discomfort. Household projects she used to start and abandon because she lacked energy now unfolded naturally. Decisions that once fluctuated held more firmly because her body was no longer leaking the strength needed to sustain them. Sharon described the transformation as finally having ground inside. What Sharon felt over the course of weeks is what you are beginning to notice now. In this moment, in your own body, the next practice will deepen this seal and turn the isolated gesture into a containment system that works continuously throughout the day. The second layer of the practice transforms automatic walking into a ritual of continuous sealing. As you step, allow the weight to land first on the front region of the sole, exactly where the point you just activated is located. Pause for a few milliseconds before completing the step and feel the point awakening with each contact with the ground. This keeps the valve active as you move. During this conscious walk, observe the sensations that arise. Your feet may feel more rooted to the ground, your ankles may feel more stable, and the energy does not escape with each step. It is held and redistributed upward. Your body begins to perceive the ground as an ally, not as a neutral surface. Each step becomes confirmation that the base is sealed and that containment is active. The manual activation you practiced taught your body where the point is. The conscious walk keeps the seal active throughout the day. Together, these two practices create an energetic containment system that works both during stillness and in motion. The leak that was once constant can now be stopped whenever you choose to activate the mechanism. The central practice is complete. You now hold the somatic map and the ritual that closes the leak at the base. The next step is to seal this transformation so that it can be reactivated whenever needed. Notice what has changed in your body. Your breath drops to the lower belly without effort. Your weight is more evenly distributed between your feet, and your ankles are no longer tense. There is a sense that your body lands on the ground in a different way, with greater inner confidence. These signs confirm that the valve has been activated and that the base has stopped leaking. To keep this seal active in the days ahead, lightly press the point on the sole of your foot, even through your shoe or sock, while taking 3 short nasal breaths. Internally visualize that the base is sealed and that the energy remains contained. This gesture takes 30 to 60 seconds and can be done anywhere, discreetly and immediately. When you feel that old fatigue rising through your legs, or notice that you are losing presence and strength for no clear reason, pause. Remove your shoe if possible, press the point for 60 seconds, and repeat internally. The base is sealed. The energy remains. This instruction turns what you learned into a long-term tool, not just a momentary experience. You now carry in your body the knowledge that stops the leak whenever needed. What remains is understanding the larger implication of what you have just experienced. The discovery you just made goes beyond technique. The energetic leak has a precise geography, and the healing was not far away. It was literally beneath your feet. What changes when you realize that each step can be a vibrational choice? That the foundation of the temple is not only physical structure, but a containment portal that decides whether you hold or disperse what you generate. The valve was there the entire time, waiting for the touch that would awaken it. The point on the sole of the foot is only one of the seals of the temple body. There are other portals of containment and energetic retention waiting to be awakened in the sacrum, in the jaw, in the diaphragm, in the plexus. The transcend channel exists to map these forgotten somatic and vibrational territories, revealing knowledge that ancestral traditions preserved and that modern neuroscience is rediscovering. There is more to access, more layers to open, more seals to awaken. Hermes Trismegistus wrote that what is below supports what is above. Transmutation does not begin at the top, but at the foundation. Awakening the base is honoring the sacred temple you inhabit, recognizing that the body was designed with infinite wisdom by the source. Each sealing point is an invitation for you to learn how to hold and circulate what was given to you, transforming leakage into conscious retention. If this content resonated with you, leave your likes, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to continue exploring other seals and practices. Share it with people you recognize are leaking energy from the base and do not know that the valve is on the sole of the foot. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Your contribution makes it possible to produce more content of this depth and reach more people seeking these ancestral practices. Write in the comments, "I awaken the point on the sole of my foot and stop the leak at the base without effort." This affirmation anchors the practice in the body and creates a written testimony of the transformation you experienced. There are entire territories waiting within your body. Click the video now appearing on your screen to discover what else is dormant. The valve that stops the leak has always been where you paid the least attention, not at the top of the head, not at the center of the chest, but beneath the soles of the feet, at the place closest to the earth, where the temple finally meets its foundation.